Okay, so to complete this project, what you're going to need is some water gel beads, like so. You can see they're really tiny. And then we're going to need some of these beads that have no holes in them. They're going to make them float in the water here. And we are also going to be using some of these. These are actually little Christmas ornaments in a pack from Hobby Lobby. But we're going to cut the string off and use them as floating decoration. I also have some fake peppermint and fake candy canes that will be used to float in there as well. Now, in addition to all this, you're going to need some distilled water, and you're also going to need a big bowl that you can let your water gel beads soak in. Now, the last thing that you're going to need is a vase, and I will show you mine later, but that's what you need. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so first we're going to take our water gel beads and we're going to put a few of them in here. Okay, now we're just gonna fill up the bowl with some water and let the beads soak for about 6 to 8 hours until they become much larger. You'll notice the difference. That was about 4 cups of water that I put in. I'm gonna add a few more cups of water just to make sure the bowl is good with a lot of water, because as the beads expand, they will use that water. So we're gonna let that sit. The water I'm putting in here now is not the distilled water. This is just regular tap water. The distilled water I'm gonna use for the finished product whenever I go to put it in the vase. But put this aside for 6 to 8 hours and we will come back and take a look at it then. Okay, so once they have sat for several hours, they are going to be much larger. To be honest with you, they could probably get bigger than this even, just to give you guys kind of an idea. Okay, they can get bigger than that, but for now I'm just gonna work with this. You can wait longer if you want, or you can just go ahead and go forward. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to take some of these balls, and you have to be careful because these are very slippery and bouncy, like so. So we'll put a layer of these in here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of my little accent packs. Again, these were from Hobby Lobby, intended to be little Christmas ornaments, but we're going to use them for an alternative purpose here. I'm going to take some of these candy canes and just kind of place it down like so. Kind of want to try to see if I can get it to kind of stand up so it kind of looks like it's floating. These I'm also going to use as accents in there. Okay. And then once we do that, we're gonna layer again with some more water gel beads. And we're just gonna keep going with this until we have a nice design. There is no right or wrong way to do it. It's just what you like and what looks good to you. Okay, so this is what it's looking like here now before we add the water. Next, we're gonna add our distilled water. And people have asked me a lot before on the one I did that's non-Christmas version of this, why I use distilled water. The reason that I choose to use the distilled water is because just to avoid any kind of little particles or anything that might be in like tap water or something like that, just to make the design clean, crisp as possible. So here we go, let's go ahead and add our water. Fun little fact here, make sure you leave enough room at the top so that as it rises, you don't have an overflow of beads. Okay, and as you can see here, we have some of these air bubbles that have gotten trapped in there as we were pouring, which is fine. What we're gonna do is we're gonna put our knife in and calmly, slowly, go ahead and just kind of pop those bubbles as we go down. If you pour slower than me, you probably won't have to worry about it. Alrighty, and here we have our finished product. So if you have seen the video I've done before, I've done another one and I'll link it up above if you haven't. I actually do a floating candle on top. So you can add something like that, a floating candle, or you can just leave it as it is and use it as a festive Christmas centerpiece. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you have any questions, drop them down below. One other thing too is you can go in, if you don't like the placement now that your water is in it of any of your stuff, you can go in, you can put your finger in there, rearrange anything. You're not going to hurt your overall design. But yeah, super simple, super easy Christmas table decoration. So thank you guys so much for watching, and if you haven't already, please be sure to subscribe. Merry Christmas!